that we're looking for our practice render. Now, as I say, this will stay wet like this all day long, so you've got plenty of opportunity to practice your hook and trowel technique and your spreading onto your wall technique, which we're going to do next. Get a blob onto your board like we've got here. Again, probably initially not too much, so we'll add in more to that. Now, again, I said with the technique, what people tend to try and do from a DIY perspective is they kind of put their hook in here and try and kind of lift some up like this, which isn't a great technique for anybody to do, and then go to practice their spreading on the brickwork. Now, the way you cut plaster off of a hook is you take the top of it off. You don't get a bit here, because if you try to chop it there and you tip this board up, as you move this up, this bit will probably just plop off. So, initially, for practicing, you need to touch your trowel down to your hook, and then slowly, as you tip the hook up, go up with the trowel. If you just put a small amount on this hook so you can get the whole lot on the trowel in one go, then this is the first best way to start practicing. If you've got too much on here and you try taking the lot off, it's going to splash everywhere. So again, this is the technique you want to practice first. Taking it off the board, dropping it back down. Never drop it that way, because that will tend to splatter a lot more, especially with real plaster, than taking it off and then you tip the trowel so it drops off the heel. So that, so it drops off the heel, you don't get the splashing. Okay, so the practice up. And initially you can start with just putting enough on your hook that you can take off to put onto the wall. When you start to get better at it, again, practice it with a small amount. I'm going to add a little bit more to this for this demo. As you're pushing again, and you're trying, the technique is to try and push the top off. You're cutting the top off. Okay, you're not trying to get this kind of thing that people generally will initially try to do. Okay, it's not great. Practice. So your hook is pointing upwards at the side like that. You've got it resting. You lift it up and off, up and off, and drop it back down off the heel. Then, I mean, it's best to probably do this over a board or over your bucket. Is to just keep practicing. Eventually, you'll do this no problem. And this is how your plasterer gets his stuff from the hook to be able to transfer it across to his wall. So give that a good go before you start trying to get stuff onto the wall. Get a feel for it, especially different thicknesses of stuff. You have to be more careful with when it's more runny. When it's thicker, it more or less will stay on the hook anyway when you tip it up, which is good, which is why this is great for practicing.